Hi, you're listening to The Family Business, a podcast about football and life from the perspective of a coach and his daughter. I'm Stephanie Turner, and I'm here with my dad, Norv Turner. And today is our Thanksgiving episode. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Today's going to be a little bit different because we know that everybody has a lot of work to do, cooking, and a lot of games to watch. So we wanted to just kind of have a conversation about, football on Thanksgiving Day and some of our memories, and then also some of the games that we have coming up today that we're all excited to watch. I know. So I think it's always funny because people don't realize, like, if you play on Thanksgiving, you don't, as the family, you don't celebrate Thanksgiving that day. So we when my Dallas, as everyone knows, or if you don't know, Dallas always plays on Thanksgiving Day, and Detroit always plays on Thanksgiving Day, and we don't know why that is.
Well,
right?
It started a long time ago, and Tex Schramm was a smart guy. He got a chance to have a game on Thanksgiving Day, a home game every year, and then they rotated who went in and played there, and people around the league always felt it was an advantage to the Cowboys. Obviously, Detroit had the home game and felt it was an advantage to Detroit, but it was a tradition, and some of those traditions are hard to change. Obviously, this was long before every team played Thursday games.
Right.
This was
before Thursday night football.
There were two Thursday games during the whole entire season, and it was at Dallas and at Detroit.
Obviously there's the reason behind it. I've always thought, just a side note, I'm surprised that there hasn't been more of pushback of like, well, that's not fair that they always get these, over the years. And maybe it is because now it's not just those two games. Maybe because there's a third game or another game, right? Third game on Thanksgiving.
Yes, there is.
And because that's the quote unquote Thursday night football game. And then now seems like there's games every day of the week.
Well, now there's a Friday game. You go Thanksgiving. We got the games today, and then obviously the Friday game. So there's 4 games before we get to Sunday.
Right. But anyway, so back in our Dallas days, we, as kids, we always knew, okay, we're going to a game on Thanksgiving, and then our family Thanksgiving and everyone on the team would celebrate on Friday. So if you had family in town, if you had, grandparents, cousins, whatever coming, they'd get to go to the game on Thursday, and then you'd wake up Friday morning and start cooking, and that was just kind of like how it was. And I remember growing up, kids would it was just something that was different, and so people would always say, "What? You're not celebrating Thanksgiving on Thanksgiving?" And we said, "Well, no, my dad's working. We're going to be at a game.
We're going to be at the stadium."
But
the thing too is, from a coaching standpoint and the players' standpoint, not only you got the home game, but you got extra days off. So we would go back into the office Friday morning and look at the tape, and the players wouldn't come in. They would come in as usual the next Monday, but everyone had Saturday and Sunday off, and that's where the real advantage came. It was like having a mini bye that helped you get ready, rested for the next week's game, and that's where the pushback came. But I think it was such a tradition, and I don't think TV would have ever let them change it from Dallas and Detroit. There's always those things that enter into it.
Yeah, but you could also say there's the disadvantage of having to play on the Thursday. You get the extra day on the other side of it, but you also have a short week, and that used to be unique to those two teams or 4 teams, whoever was playing Dallas or Detroit as well. But if that game was on your schedule that year, but now anytime you have a Thursday night game, it changes the weekly schedule, and I know that's something that sometimes people don't realize. You got a short week if you're playing Thursday.
You do, and because there's so many Thursday night games now, people have really refined the schedules. Back when I first went to Dallas, it was completely new to me. I hadn't played in a Thanksgiving Day game, and Coach Johnson, he put together the schedule, and our players would come in a little later on Monday, having played Sunday. They'd come in Monday, and we would do everything we could to make it feel like a normal Wednesday, which was their normal work day, but it was a lighter practice. But the game plan was in, so we had extra work to do as coaches to get the game plan ready for the next week. Fortunately, we would play teams in our division occasionally, and a couple of times we played the Giants. So you were very familiar with them. But then you'd get to Tuesday, and you'd try to make that feel like a normal Thursday practice. And then when you'd have your Wednesday morning light practice that you normally have on a Friday, you would have that practice. And then you'd go to the hotel on Wednesday night like you normally do on a Saturday night before the game. And we used to tell them when they'd get to the hotel on Wednesday night, it's Saturday night, guys. That's mentally, and physically, you got to feel that way. Now, I don't know if they felt that way physically. They'd played on Sunday.
Yeah. So do they, on a short week like that, they don't get a day, players don't get a day off?
No.
Yeah.
They get their days off at the end after the game like everyone else. And then, you get up, it seems like the Dallas games were in the second game at 3:00. So you'd watch part of the Detroit game at the stadium or whatever. And then it was a 3:00 game in Dallas, and you wanted them to feel like they were playing on Sunday, and obviously they didn't, but you tried to create that atmosphere. So we used to say it was Thursday like a Sunday. That's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And then I was in Dallas 3 years where we played on Thursdays, and the 1 year was the famous ice game with Miami, where we had an unbelievable storm, and it was an ice storm, and the field was completely covered with ice, and they did everything they could with snow blowers and all that to try to get it off, but it was slippery and sliding. Then more ice came down during the game, and it's the famous Leon game where we blocked a field goal that was going to win the game, and Leon went and dove on it and didn't recover it, and they got it and got to kick again, and we ended up losing that game. It was very,
crazy,
very unique and crazy game, but it's one that you can smile about now. We weren't smiling after it. But what ended up happening is when I went to Washington, we actually played in Dallas on Thanksgiving Day, used a little bit of the same schedule. I probably over-practiced. I was young and anxious and wanting to go beat Dallas, and we were actually ahead in the game at halftime. I think we were 7 points ahead or 10 points ahead, and we kind of faded in the second half. I think I had a tired football team. But the one that was really exciting, when I was in Miami, we actually played on a Sunday night, and it was an 8:15 kickoff, so the game didn't end till about midnight. Reports were that our players were still tailgating at 4 a.m. in the parking lot. They never go home early.
Right.
They're not, and we're going to go down to Dallas and play on Thursday. And we went in on, before that Sunday game, we went in the morning and did some work on Dallas, and we found a little, couple of things that helped us in the game. They were the number one defense in the league. But they were a big blitz control team, and we, out of a certain personnel group, certain formations, they never blitzed. So we built a game plan around that. And then we had Ricky Williams, who obviously he had a big time day that day against Dallas, but we had Chris Chambers, and we moved him around, and Jay Fiedler was a quarterback, and we ran the ball and used play action. Chris Chambers caught 3 touchdowns. Parcells was the coach, and they were 8-3, and they were Uh, everyone expected them to win the division and be a playoff team and all that. And I think we surprised the heck out of them because we scored over 40 points against the number one defense in the league. And I think part of that was our experience. A lot of the guys in Miami having played on Thanksgiving Day and understanding that preparation, understanding, let's not wear them out.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get them ready. And then let's go give it our best shot. And that was one of the funnest games I had, particularly on Thanksgiving, but when we were in Miami.
Yeah. Well, let's talk about the games that we have today, these Thanksgiving games. We have Green Bay at Detroit. So let's get into what are we thinking this is going to look like?
Well, this is when you get a Thanksgiving Day game, and then it's a divisional game, it becomes that much more important. And that division is going to go down to the wire. You got good teams in it. Chicago's playing good, Detroit's playing good, Green Bay has hit a little bit of a lull, but they're still a good team. Minnesota's a good football team. It's going to go right down to the wire. So this game is going to be an exciting game. It's going to be an intense game. And it's definitely in Detroit's advantage to be playing at home with this game. The way they're playing on offense, the crowd will be crazy. Playing a divisional opponent,
national TV,
one of your biggest rivals. It's got all those things. And then Green Bay's struggling on offense, and Detroit seems to be picking it up on offense. So, again, I really like Detroit in the game, and I think there'll be a lot of points scored, though, because that's the style that both teams play. And Green Bay's got to, play the way they're capable of playing on offense to be able to stay in the game. But Detroit really has it going offensively. They got the running backs. Goff is playing as good as he can. We know about their passing game, so it should be really an exciting game.
Mm-hmm. And then we have Kansas City at Dallas, which, all of these are just great matchups. So it's like
it's the schedule makers did a great job. This is a great matchup, and I'm sure when they put the schedule together, people expected Dallas to be playing better. But Dallas is one of the top 4 or 5 offenses in the league. We know Kansas City is a top defense, and they do a really good job taking away what teams do best. Kansas City is back to where they were 3 or 4 years ago in the passing game. They're making explosive plays. Mahomes is playing at a real high level. They're doing a good job of protecting them. I see both teams scoring. I just don't think Dallas is capable of keeping up with Kansas City, and I'm not sure Dallas is going to do a great job with Kansas City's blitz, because Kansas City can blitz you. They'll do it anytime, any field position, any down and distance. So Dallas is going to have to really handle the blitz to stay in the game.
Yeah. But it's Thanksgiving Day in Dallas, so you never know what that's a stadium and a like that. Those are, I feel like there are those intangibles too on games like these, days like these where it's players. I mean, I remember over the years hearing, we got a nationally televised game. Like, players like to play, and they play for an audience when they know that everybody's watching, whether it's Monday Night Football, Thanksgiving. And it does, I think, bring an edge to people where they step up. I mean, and sometimes it goes the other way too, right? Sometimes it's a national
it really
stage.
does. And I'm not discounting Dallas, because we know those two receivers and Dak, they can be explosive on offense. It's just they're playing a complete team.
Yeah.
They're playing a team that, you know, does the things they need to do on defense. We know that the blitz is there. It's going to be an exciting game, and there's going to be points scored.
Yeah. Okay, and then we have Cincinnati at Baltimore Ravens.
Well, I'm anxious to see this one because Baltimore obviously got off to a slow start. Lamar wasn't playing. He's back.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing a lot better.
Yeah.
They're going to
making up for the time he was gone. He's like back
and they're looking to win the division. Cincinnati, obviously, with the receivers, the passing game, they can do things. But I just think it's a tough matchup for Cincinnati. I'm anxious to see what happens. Burrow, what's his situation? So it'll be a fun game to watch because Cincinnati has the passing game, the ability to make those plays. When Lamar's playing, they're hard to beat. And he is incredible, the difference when he's in the game and when he isn't, when he has played and he couldn't play. I mean, he just makes everyone around him better.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then Friday we have the Black Friday game is what they're calling it now, which okay. So is Bears at Eagles. Just another great,
Well, the Bears, I
NFC.
think everyone expecting the Bears to keep getting better as the season went on. And they're hitting on all cylinders offensively, the Ben Johnson effect. He's got
things clicking into gear.
Caleb Williams playing at a higher level. And then it's, Philadelphia. And Philadelphia, same deal. They really do a great job on defense, taking away the things you do best. Coordinator's been coaching forever, and he knows the right buttons to push. I'm a big fan of his. And then Philadelphia with the running game, they'll do everything they can to keep the ball away from Chicago. Make it a shorter game, make it a lower scoring game. But it's when you get a team that's kind of hot like Chicago and they're up and coming and they're young and they don't know any better, that's where you can come in and pull off an upset and pull off a big win.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm excited to watch. And it's my daughter's birthday this week. She's born around Thanksgiving, so we always have a birthday and Thanksgiving celebration. And she is turning 10 and is just she's very into the NFL, which we laugh about because she's hilarious. And she's just discovered the divisions. So she's like, I don't understand. Why do some teams play twice? And why did we play them 2 times? And do they play each other 2 times? And so then I had to explain the divisions. And then at her book fair, they were selling posters, and they sold a poster of all the NFL teams. And she wanted that one. So we got her that poster. And then she just told me, Mama, I just realized the poster is organized by divisions. So she could see that all of, at each division was marked out and 4 teams or whatever. So now it's like her cheat sheet. She has her little guide. So she's learning. She's learning the family business, right?
She is learning the family business, and she's a big fan of her uncle's games, and he's obviously coached at a number of places. So she's got the gear. She's got her Raider gear. Now she's got her Jets
gear
and had the Washington gear. So we're all into it with the Jets, though, because of Scott. And it's amazing how the kids pick up on it and watch it and enjoy it. And the great thing, and it was Stephanie and Scott and Drew, our 2 sons, getting to be around the players and getting to be around. There's times they could come and watch a practice, particularly training camp, but getting to know. We always had times where we had the players to the house, dinner, whatever, and the kids, they get to know them as people, not just players, and that's one of the perks of coaching. One of the things that we always kept in mind and kept involved. In fact, a little sidebar on Drew. He was about 3 or 4 when we went to Dallas, and Nancy, my wife, brought me lunch. I think we were early in the offseason, went in the first year I was there, and our running back coach, Joe Brodsky, came in to see me, and he goes, "Hey, bro," that's what he called everybody. He said, Coach Johnson doesn't, he doesn't like that with the kids in the building and your wife and stuff. I said, well, she brought me lunch. Drew was drawing on the grease board, doing some stuff. I said, if he'll tell me if he doesn't want to do it. So it was the next week they brought me lunch on Tuesday. They didn't have lunch on Tuesdays. And Coach Johnson walks by, and he goes, "Who's this in here?" And he had met Nancy, he hadn't met Drew. And I said, "Oh, Coach, this is Drew. Drew's 4 or whatever it was." And he said, "Hey, Drew, how you doing?" And he grabbed the little marker, and they're sitting there drawing and doing stuff. And out of the corner of my eye, I see Coach Brodsky walk by, and he stops and looks and just kind of shakes his head. And Jimmy left, and Nancy and Drew left, and Coach Brodsky put his head in the door and goes, "Well, I'll be a son of a bitch." What did you do to him? How did you get that done? We just laughed.
Speaking of Drew and that ice game, that Dallas Thanksgiving ice game, I think that was the game we were walking from the parking lot, and Drew was probably 3 or 4, and he wanted to hold his own ticket. And if you're a parent, your kid is, "I want to hold my own ticket. I want to hold my own ticket. I want to hold it. I want to hold it." And so he was holding his ticket to the Thanksgiving Cowboys game. And my mom said, fine, hold your ticket, but do not drop your ticket. Do not drop your ticket. And this is back in the old school paper ticket days where you had a ticket and they weren't going to issue you another one if you lost it. And we get to the front of the stadium where you go in, and we go, "All right, show your ticket." And Drew looks up and he goes, "I dropped it." And we're like, "What?" And we walk all the way back through the parking lot, and it's ice. It's icing. It's that like Dallas, not snow, wet. And we're like, we're all gonna have to go home. We're just thinking when he can't get into the game. And we go, and sure enough, like on our path that we walked from the car is a ticket half covered in ice, just sticking out. You can see the helmet and the Thanksgiving Day. We pick it up and we're like, "You are not holding this ticket. We're holding it till we get to the game." But yeah, that's my memory of that game. Aside from Leon Lett and the end. But all right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to subscribe on YouTube or wherever you listen to your podcasts, and follow us on Instagram, X, and TikTok, where we will post fun clips and giveaways. And happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Enjoy the games today. We'll see you on the next one.
Have a great Thanksgiving, and enjoy all the football. Usually it comes to taking a nap, laying on the carpet in front of the TV.